What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. So, the Giants fall to 0-3 on the season by losing to the Kansas City Chiefs 22-9. I don't know. This is probably the worst loss. I mean, the Commanders lost. I felt the Giants were in it, but this was pretty bad. I mean, the Giants just look like, there's levels to this, right? And they look like they're just not in the Chiefs league, which we know already, but it's pretty bad tonight. Pretty bad. Russell Wilson looked terrible. The offense looked bad. I thought the defense was solid. I thought they were the ones that kept us in the game. But in all honesty, we just couldn't get anything going. We couldn't. Russell Wilson, I'm going to bring up the stats. He just wasn't good tonight. Excuse me, at all. Gravity, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live, man. It's going to be a quick show tonight, man. It's kind of late. Russell Wilson, 18 for 32, 160 yards, 2 INTs. A couple of times he's just chucking it up there. Just trying to, I don't even know, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're just watching the game, you're like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you just throwing it up there if no one is open? Like, just be smart with how you handle the ball. But I think that Steve Spagnuolo, who's also a Giant guy, of course, he was part of that NASCAR defense for us, and he was the one, one of the main reasons why we won Super Bowls, because he was the defensive coordinator for us when we won our Super Bowl. Steve Spagnuolo was, so we know what Spags can do, right? So he's a great defensive coordinator. He is. But, the Giants have a lot of weapons. You got to know how to pretty much go about it to where you go into this game saying, okay, right, we know what we're going to do to try to win this game. And, of course, how to attack this team based on what we saw in the last couple of weeks, of course, against the Eagles. And, of course, I believe, who did they play in their first game? Oh, they played the Chargers. Just kind of based off of that. But I think that the Giants are very limited. And I think they're very limited at quarterback. But at the same time, it seems like it doesn't matter who you put back there. It's the same result. Even with, Daniel Jones doing pretty well out there in Indy, right? Who's 3-0 now currently. It just seems like Brian Dable is losing a grasp of this. He just seems that way. And I don't know. They're 0-3. Next week is the Chargers. It doesn't get any easier. So you're looking at 0-4. So when do you see Dart? Do you see Dart against the Saints? I'm going to bring up a schedule in a minute, but when do you see Dart? I think it's time to really, truly consider playing Jackson Dart. Lou Boogie, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It's going to be a quick show tonight, man. Tough loss for them boys. 22-9 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Cam Scatterbo had a good game. We'll talk about him in a second. 10 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Brian Burns, another great game for him. 6 tackles and 1 sack. So, you just got to figure out when you want to play the kid, right? The schedule is not going to get any, easier. Well, actually, it does. One game that's against the Saints. But outside of that, the rest of the games against playoff teams. These first 7 games for the Giants are a gauntlet. So it's it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, but they're going to have to make a decision. Because I think this is Brian Dable to me is coaching for his job, right? So I think it's time. Cam Scatterbo, man, was fabulous tonight. Fabulous. Hope Tyrone Tracy is okay. Looked like he had a shoulder injury. So I don't know what it's going to look like as far as his status for next week against the Chargers. But Cam Scatterbo looked extremely good. Looked at everything of what we saw at the highlights, of course. I saw him play a lot in college. But, he played at Arizona State, and he was a monster out there. So he looked very much like the same guy out there at Arizona State. He just needs opportunities, right? And so he got that today with Cam Scatterbo. With Tyrone Tracy's injury. So I thought it was a great game for him. Big Taz, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Tough loss to them boys, 22-9 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Brian Burns, 6 tackles, 1 sack. But Scatterable, man, his numbers were great because not just there, he also was great on receptions too. He has six catches for 61 yards, Cam Scatterable, right? So all in all, what is that? 120 yards total offense for him. So I mean, the young guns are the future. I thought Abdul Carter looked okay today, right? He should have had that sack. Here's the thing. I mean, I was going to mention that too. I was, because I'm going to rant, right? All right. Well, let me come back. Let me get to that. I thought Cam Scatterable was great. I think we'll see exactly what's going on with Tracy, but he's kind of solidifying himself that his upside is pretty high and he could be, I don't want to say 1A, maybe 1B to Tyrone Tracy. I mean, he showed more of it today, but he should get a lot of carries. Like he got 10 carries today. I think this is where his number should be. He got 10 receptions today, right? So six receptions today. I think that's where his number should be. I mean, he needs touches. I mean, he's just that good of a player. So then the more he plays and the more touches you get, the better he's going to get, Cam Scatterwood. So I think, this is an opportunity for him to really showcase what he did tonight. And, it's time to play the kid. He's young. And I think he's uber talented. So we got to kind of get him in there, man. I mean, we're 0-3, man. So you got to throw everything against the painting to see what sticks, right? We just have to do that. So that's the deal with the Cam Scatterable piece. Now, the defense, like I said, I thought was okay. I thought the defense was okay. Dexter Lawrence, I think he's still dealing with that elbow ailment, man. I think he's still dealing with that elbow issue. So that's concerning because they talked about it on the telecast how he came out a couple of times and they were massaging his elbow because I guess he's still feeling some type of pain. Remember, he dislocated his elbow last year. So yeah, we got to kind of monitor that, because I mean that's our best player. So that's something to monitor. Is he fully healed from that elbow injury? Right? He doesn't wear a brace. He just wears that elbow sleeve. Maybe he should wear a brace. I don't know, but I'm just saying, he doesn't look like the same Dex, and I think he's still trying to, I think he's still coming back from that injury. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. They had Abdul Carter inside backer today. I don't know why. I get it. He played it at Penn State the year before last. His last season at Penn State, guys, they put him at that's when they decided to put him at edge. And that's when he dominated, but very, very similar to Micah Parsons. But remember, Micah Parsons was playing inside backer at Penn State. He didn't play. I think it was his junior year. He didn't play because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So he decided, they only had a couple of games. He didn't want to get hurt. So he only, Micah Parsons only played technically only 2 years at Penn State. He sat out the junior year, and then that's when he got drafted really high. But he played middle backer at Penn State. They had him running a lot of different stunts and stuff like that. So that's what Abdul Carter was doing at Penn State. Very similar to what Micah Parsons was doing. But his last year at Penn State, they put him on the edge. And that's where, his draft stock skyrocketed. So he can play inside backer. I'm not saying he can't. But I mean, I don't think you drafted him to play inside backer. You drafted him to play the edge. So I don't know why he's not playing there as much to me as he should. Should be getting a lot of reps there. But maybe they had him there to spy Patrick Mahomes. I'm assuming that's what it was. But when he's rushing, the reason why he missed that sack is because he's rushing Patrick Mahomes with his hands up. You can't run like that. That's why he looks awkward trying to catch him and trying to tackle him. If he's just attacking Patrick Mahomes, he gets that sack because he's not overthinking the play. He's not trying to block him from throwing. I don't really care about if you look. I don't want you trying to block a throw. All right, Carter, I want you to go get him. That's it. I want him to go get the quarterback. I don't want him trying to, be running, putting his hands up. He looks awkward out there. Go get the guy, man. Go get him and go get the tackle for a loss or a sack or whatever. Let's make the play. And so that's kind of like the frustrating part about the whole Abdul Carter thing going on right now because I think they have him playing different positions, and I don't think Shane Bowen knows what he's doing, man. But that's another conversation we will touch on. But so I think that was not a great move. But what I will say is that Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau look great. They look like they are ready to go this year, and I think they've been playing fabulous. Kayvon Thibodeau especially. So this was a game, believe it or not, we could have won if our offense would have came to play and our defense came to play. Last week it was vice versa. Last week it was the offense and not the defense, right? So it's weird. Like it's just not even keel, right? And so it's no consistency here with this team, and that's the frustrating part about this. Big Tass says number 22. Andrew Phillips is always committing penalties. Yeah, man. Like it's weird, Big Task. It's weird because I think sometimes these guys are so worried about technique that they forget about playing football. Just playing football, just playing ball, man. Just play, just like as if you're in the backyard. How we grew up in New York City. We didn't really have as much grass, so we had to play two-hand touch. That's how I learned how to play. Like you just play like sometimes like you're playing two-hand touch. When they throw the ball up, react to the ball, not to the guy. And that's what's happening, Big Task. He's not playing the ball. He's playing the guy. So he's face guarding. He's turning around. Instead of when the ball's in the air, you become a receiver like him. You attack the ball. Don't attack the receiver. And that's what's happening. These guys are getting kind of confused and all over the place because they're trying to use all these techniques, obviously, that Shane Bowen and his crew are giving them. And it's just, you can see it. These guys, they're not even playing football, man. It's like they're trying to be robots. And that's why all the penalties are happening, man. He had a tough night today. It was times he made a lot of good plays, but he's kind of struggling in the pass defense. Department. So that's something he's got to get better with. That's something he's got to tighten up with. But it was a lot of different issues today, man. A lot of different issues. So let's reset the room, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me tonight, man. Tough loss for them boys, 22-9 to the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Giants now go to 0-3 on the season. Cam Scatterbo, 10 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 receptions for 60 yards. And Brian Burns, 6 tackles, 1 sack. So, yeah, also, too, when you come through, please hit that like button for me, please. Please hit that like button when you guys come through, man. Late night, I'm trying to get these bring these stats up here, man. It's crazy, man. Crazy game. Crazy game. But I'm not surprised. We knew this was a gauntlet, guys. We knew this was a gauntlet this season. We knew it was going to be tough for the Giants. And basically what I'm seeing, which is extremely frustrating, is that it just seems like they've kind of seasons early. And it seems like they just kind of basically lost their motivation or their mojo or whatever. And I don't know. I put it to like this. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson Dart is starting next week. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Gravity says, I hope Neighbors doesn't want to leave. Not just him, Gravity. Not just him, because he's still on his rookie deal, man. Not just him, man. Dexter Lawrence, man. What if Dexter Lawrence next year demands a trade, man? What if something crazy like that happens? I mean, Neighbors is still in his rookie deal. He can't really do anything. But what if Dexter Lawrence, man, is like, yo, I'm out of here? The Giants lose Dexter Lawrence, man. That they could forget about it. Right? We saw Andrew Thomas tonight. He came back tonight. That was good to see. Right? But, they were kind of monitoring. I don't want to say his minutes, but they wanted to watch and see how he played. They want to make sure that, I guess they put him out there. They put him out there in the first half to get his feet wet, to make sure his foot can hold up. And I thought Andrew Thomas looked great tonight. But he's another guy, right? Could he leave? Could all the star players leave and say, I'm out of here? Because they don't like how things are being run. I mean, that's something we got to kind of take a look at here, man. We do. We can't dismiss it like it's not a big deal. It's something to kind of be worried about. It truly is. All right, guys, let me pull up the schedule here for you guys. Kind of bring up the stats and everything like that. Let me see here. Hope everybody's doing. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, man. Weekend was great. I know the Giants destroyed this Sunday night, but hopefully everybody had a good weekend before we get back to the grind tomorrow. All right, guys. So let's show you guys the stats really, really quick. Okay, so there it is right there. Russell Wilson, 18 for 32, 160 yards, and average of 5 yards, a pass, got sacked twice, QB rating 43 for 18. Cam Scatterwood, 10 carries, 60 yards. Tracy, 7 for 29. Russell Wilson, 5 for 27. And Motor, Devin Singletary, 4 for 11. I don't know why Motor doesn't get more touches, man. I think he's a pretty good player and pretty good back out the backfield, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, man. Because you gotta have some type of balance. But look at me, look at the receivers, man. Look at this. Wandale only had 1 catch, 26 yards, and Neighbors only had 2 catches for 13 yards, man. Like, see, that's the problem. Like, see, that's what I mean. Like, it's just something just seems like it's not clicking because there's no way you can't get these guys open. I don't know what type of scheme you're running. Maybe Russell Wilson doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know, but you can't have it in any NFL. You got 3 good receivers. Look, Slayton had 4 receptions for 30 yards. Like, I'm just saying, they don't have. The Chiefs don't have 3 shutdown corners. They got McDuffie, of course, he's an all-pro, right? But those other couple of guys aren't like shutdown corners. They're good, they're okay. In the NFL, of course, they're okay, but not to the point to where Wandale should be shut down and Slayton. And if Neighbors is shut down, cool. But those other guys should be getting busy. Even Theo Johnson only has 1 catch, 10 yards. I just don't know what they're running. But the problem is that this is happening to all the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones looked like this before. He's ripping it up over there in Indy, right? So there's something going on here. I don't know if Kafka and Dable aren't clicking offensively. I don't know what it is. But once again, it's the same problems. It's the same issues. Now, last week they looked good because you see what the Cowboys are, right? I mean, Caleb Williams lit them up today for 4 touchdowns. But I'm just saying, like, you got to make sure that these other guys are getting involved, like Wandale and Darius Slayton. Like, you got to run schemes out there because I didn't think the line played bad today. Russell had time to throw. It wasn't like he was getting sacked. He only got sacked twice. It wasn't like he was under pressure the whole time. If the line, if it closes up, you see how he stepped up in the pocket. But once again, that's where I think Russell's limited. I think this is where Russell Wilson is limited, man. I think that he has a ceiling. I don't think he's in a situation to where. All right, let me say this. He's a game manager, not a game changer, right? I sound like Cam Newton now. To me, that's what Russell Wilson is. He's a game manager, not a game changer. And a lot of times with game changers, those guys make those little plays and do little nuances or little things that know how to throw guys open. Or will make a pass that you're like, wow, how did he fit that pass in between there, right? Or will kind of scramble and kind of come up. Just little things. And at this stage in his career, now Russell Wilson will have a game like what he had last week. I mean, but the Cowboys stink too defensively. So that's kind of smoke and mirrors, right? I think who he was against the Commanders and who he was today is what he is. I think this is where Russell Wilson is. So to me, this is where, we're 0-3 now. You got to really kind of start considering the Jackson Dart now. Like you have to consider it. Because once again, we're not sitting here watching him and saying, okay, he's under a whole lot of pressure. Like I didn't feel that today. Did you guys feel that? Did you guys feel that tonight? That he was under a whole lot of pressure and he just couldn't complete anything? Did you guys sense that? I didn't sense that at all. I thought a couple of times he was just chucking the ball down, just trying to get these moon balls, and it's not even open. One play, Neighbors almost got hurt. So once again, I don't know what offensive plays they're calling. I don't know if Spagnuolo's, with his defensive schemes, if he's throwing out different coverages that he doesn't know what to do, or Kafka's not running the off. Who knows what's going on? But they got too many weapons to where they don't. No one got off. Look at it. Darius Slayton, 4 for 30. Wandell, 1 catch. Malik Neighbors, 2 catches. Theo Johnson, 1 catch. Like, come on, man. And everything's a check down. Look, the backs, you got 6 catches for him. Tyrone Tracy's got 2 catches. He got more catches than Wandell Robinson. Even he didn't play that much. But I'm just saying that this is what's going on. Everything's a check down. So I don't know, man. So it just doesn't seem like. I mean, I think altogether, what is it? The team had 160 yards there, or is that how much rushing? Rushing, they had 130. So what is that? 290 yards of offense. Here goes the defense right here. Bobby Okereke, he had 8 tackles against Paulson Adebo, 7. Burns, 6. Tyler Nubin, 5. Tyler Nubin was like non-existent. I forgot he was even on the field sometimes. Drew Phillips, 5 tackles. Javon Holland, 5. Abdul Carter, I thought, came up and played the run really well. He had 4 tackles altogether. Cordell Flott, 3. Then Belton, 2. Then we had that one play. Remember that one play where he threw the backwards pass? And Dane Belton is tripping all over the ball. And then Bobby Okereke, he had it right there and just. And then, Patrick Mahomes just came and ripped the ball away from him. I mean, come on, man. I mean, listen, once again, right? Game managers and game changer. Mahomes is a game changer, man. Like little things like that. It's not even a big deal, but little things like that. Because that right there could have gave the Giants a touchdown. He went in there and snatched it away from Bobby Okereke, who's, to me, he's just, I don't know. Everything just doesn't seem to be working for the Giants. At all. And guys, also too, what's going on with this whole like kicker thing too? Like, what happened with Graham Gano? He got hurt in the beginning. We don't have a kicker. Like this is like the second time in a row, like this year, that it's just like the same stuff, man. It's like the same stuff. Like it's just, oh man, you kind of run out of things to say, right? Big Taz, look at Big Taz. Big Taz is feeling it. Yeah, we're all shaking our heads. Yeah, man. I was like, how did the kicker get hurt? From doing what? Just kicking? Like, what? Like, what else can go wrong, man? So now they don't have a kicker. Then you got the punter. The punter's kicking the field goals. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Then the kick returner is the holder. I mean, this is a joke the way this organization is being run, man. Shouldn't you have a backup plan for if the kicker gets hurt in the game? Like, shouldn't you have that? But once again, that's all like organizational, man. Like, what's going on? Like, is your house clean? Like, just certain things, man. And they just don't seem just with it. I don't even know what's going on with that. But you should have certain things in place just in case, right? Just in case. Insane, man. Insane. Once again, man, let's reset the room, man. Tough loss for them boys tonight, 22-9. Giants goes to 0-3 on the season. Cam Scatterable, big game for him. 10 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Also 2 6 catches and 61 yards for the rookie running back. About 121 yards of total offense for Cam Scatterable today. The one shining light and shining point for the Giants today. Yeah, man, Big Taz. I'm just sitting here listening to you like, yeah, Big Taz, crazy, man. It doesn't make any sense. Gravity, man. How is the kicker getting hurt? Yo, that's Gravity. He's getting hurt. They said during warmups. During warmups, he got hurt. He pulled a groin or something. I'm like, oh man, bad. Gravity says that's why they didn't take the 3 points in the beginning and went for on the fourth down because they didn't want to use Gano. Right, because he was hurt. He was hurt. Like he got hurt during warmups. You know, they kick field goals during right before the game starts, and they kick they do they just run through their special team stuff right before everyone comes out. The kickers always come out first. But he's had this issue before, man. He's done this before, but we ran into this problem last year, like with the kicker, and they didn't know if it was last year, man. Like he was hurt during the week, and they should have went in and got a different kicker because they knew he was hurt, but they put him out there anyway. Like it's just bad team management with this team, man. And it all starts from the top, man. Top down. Top down. You got to look at the GM, then the coach. From the top down. That's where it goes. That's just the truth. You know what? Let's listen to the coach, man. Let's hear from him. Let's hear from him. Let's hear what he has to say. Elvie's gonna put it up right now for you guys. Let me 1 second here. Pull it up here for you guys, man. Let's listen to what he has to say. Should be pretty interesting, man. Let's hear what the coach has to say. Okay, 1 second here. 1 second. Let me see something. Give me 1 second, guys. Be patient with me. I know it's late. People are like, yo, man, LV, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Giants, the loss pissed me off tonight. Now I gotta go to work and deal with my boss. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. All right, let's hear from the head guy. Let's hear from him, man. Yeah, he's talking about on a hot seat. Hot is an understatement. I think his seat is like hot lava, man. I think it's scorching hot. Make sure I got this turned up for you guys. All right. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I got all set up for you guys. All right, cool. All right, let's hear from him, man. Let's hear what he has to say. Dave's.
Okay. So I thought we battled defensively. Had a good plan. They made a couple nice plays there in the second half, but there's a lot of things improved defensively. Gave us a chance. Thought we did a good job in the kicking game and fell short offensively. We ran the ball much better. Our passing game was not good enough, particularly on third down. So we were like 1 of 10 on third down. That's hard to sustain drives and put points on the board. So that's about it. Not good enough.
Dave's is feeling it, man. Once again, right? This is another game now. You can see he knows, man. He knows. He knows the pressure is real, man. The pressure is real. Like this city is like this, man. This city is known as a beast, man. No place like it. And he's feeling the heat. The heat is real in this city, man, when you're not winning. And it's tough. It's tough. He's running out of things to say. He doesn't know what to say. But like he said, 1 of 10 on third down, guys. You hear him say it again. 1 of 10. And it's not like third down was like 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 15. They had easy, easy yardage for that. A lot of them was like 3 and 7, 3 and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 3. Like certain things, like they could have got for, but they just couldn't operate, man. They could not operate out of that. And that's why I say, it might sound like a broken record, but yo, man, you might have to make a change, man, because this guy, I like Russell Wilson, man, but I think he's capped out. 37 years old, man. I think he is what he is. And he's just a game manager, not a game changer. It's just my opinion with him. Yes, he played a great game against the Cowboys. I get it. That's an outlier. But I think he's more the guy we saw in Washington and the guy we saw tonight. That's who he is. To go 1 for 10 from third down, come on, man. You're the quarterback. Like, you got to make a play. You got to make a play. You got to throw guys open. You got to, call certain plays. Or if Kafka's calling this, maybe audible out of it based on what you see. Like, you got to be able to do that. You're a veteran. You're a vet in this league, so you should know, But it's looking like how it's supposed to look with a guy like that, who's 37 years old, and skill set is kind of like maxed out, man. His best years are behind him, and so that's why you're seeing what you're seeing with this guy. And there's nothing, I think Russell Wilson most likely is going to be a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got one Super Bowl. He's been to a second one. He went to 2, won 1. He's been to like he's not going to be a first ballot, maybe a couple of years, but I think he's been like to 10 Pro Bowls, man, something like that, right? Guys, look it up for me. I think Russell Wilson's been to 10 Pro Bowls. So he's got a pretty sweet resume, man. So I think he eventually gets into the Hall. But I mean, it is what it is, man. And so you're going to need a guy that's a little bit of a game changer. And I think Dart has that. But the only way you got to play him, man. And at 0-3, I think it's the time. I think now is the time. Now's the time to play these guys. Because you see Dabes. Dabes doesn't even know what to say. Dabes doesn't know what to say. And then you could see it. And look, man, I think he's coaching for his job. My opinion. I think he's coaching for his job. So you're going to have to make some decisions, some really hard decisions. And some people may not like it. Some people may feel like, Russell's a vet. He's earned the right to, man, look, man, we're 0-3, man. We're 0-3. We're trying to get wins. And we need a spark. And I feel like we got a little spark from Cam Scatterboot tonight. I thought, that's kind of like like looking forward to what could possibly be and what the next couple of years are going to be with this guy in the backfield. Because I think he's a young, active and just, just really, really, just very high skill set running back. And he wants to get out there and he wants to get to it. I think it's the same thing with Tracy, right? So I think we have young pieces here that we can build on. But nothing moves in this league if your quarterback ain't legit, man. Nothing moves. You got to have a guy back there that's going to change the game. And to me, my opinion, I think Jackson Dart's the guy to do that. Okay, let me get in here. Big Tass says, plus Dable knows that the ownership is looking at the current success of Daniel Jones. Listen, not just that, man. Remember, Big Tass, when they had, when was it? What was it? What was that called on HBO? HBO, what is it? Training camp? You know what I'm talking about. When they go behind the scenes. You guys tell me the name of it. HBO, I forget what it's called. Hard Knocks. There we go. Hard Knocks, right? When they did Hard Knocks, remember, the owner said, if I lose, Saquon and he goes to the rival, I'm going to lose sleep. And that's what happened. So now, I wonder what's going to happen now, because he lost sleep before. Like, it's, you got to think about it, man. Like, it's just, now Daniel Jones is doing that over there. I mean, it's just insane, like how guys are leaving and just getting busy, right? So this says that, believe it or not, it might be the regime that's the problem, meaning, the GM and the coach and how they're assembling things, right? Just you got to call a thing here, right? Let's hear from the coach one more time, man. Let's hear from him one more time.
And then when you put Russell back in, they were booing him.
1 second here. They're talking about, because if you remember, he was kind of going and he was Hard Knocks. Yeah, thanks, Big Task. He remember he was putting Dart in for a couple of those plays. Remember he was doing that. He was kind of like putting Dart in, and then he was putting Russell back in, and I don't like that he's doing that. I said that last game. I don't like that. If you're gonna play the kid, play him. If not, then let him sit over there, let him chill. But like, don't do that, because it throws off the rhythm. It throws off the rhythm of the offense, and then also too, like, Russell Wilson's gonna be a Hall of Famer, man. Like, let him, if he's gonna play the game, let him finish it out. If you're not gonna start the kid, don't start him. Let him sit over there, let him learn, or whatever you feel like he's doing. And then next week, give him a fresh start. Let him have his home game. Like, let him rock his whole game, and let him be the best player that he can be out there without worrying about looking over his shoulder that he's gonna get subbed out. Like, just do that. I don't like him bouncing back and forth like that. Gravity says they was trying to decide between Daniel Jones and Barkley, and they both left playing. Yo, that's what I'm saying, Big Gravity, right? They chose wrong. They chose wrong, because I always felt you should have kept Saquon. You don't let him walk. But, you know, those two decisions is what's going to, you know, pretty much destroy their job. There's a chance here Jackson Dart can save these guys. There's a chance. I'm going to say it again. There's a chance here that Jackson Dart can save these guys. If Dart comes in and the Giants start winning games, there's a chance. There's a chance that he can save these guys. Big time. But is that likely? Is that likely that happens? What say you? All right, let's hear from the coach, man. Let's hear from the coach, because there was heavy booze up in there, man. He's talking about that now. A lot of booze tonight. So let's hear what some of the reporters have to ask him.
And fans were calling for Jackson to get in the game, and then when you put Russell back in, they were booing him.
Yeah.
What would you say to the fan base that is calling for this rookie that you guys are obviously excited about, and they are too, after this offense looks like this?
Yeah. Look, Jackson's progressing well. We'll continue to work with him. I got a lot of confidence in him, his development that he's had. And that's what we'll continue to do. Look, I'd be booing too, to be honest with you, in terms of not being good enough. No, not scoring, not finishing. I understand that. That's the nature of it.
Yeah.
Wow, you hear that? So Dave knows. Dave knows. He said, "I'll be booing too." Dave knows, man. He knows what's going on. He sees it, and then he didn't even say anything about Russell. He just said, Jackson Dart's going to continue. We're happy where he's going. He didn't say right there, pay attention. He didn't say, but I have confidence in Russell, and we'll continue with that going forward. He didn't say that. See, I'm listening to these little things here that he's saying. He's not telling. Listen, guys, he sees it and he feels it. I don't care all this coach speak. He feels it. And this was the first inside look into, yo, man, there might be a little crack here for this kid to play. Because he hears the boost. He said, I'll be booing too. I would be booing too. Hey, man, look, the head coach sees it. He sees what's going on. Look at my man Gravity says, what worries me is that the O-line was playing decent and we still could not pass the ball. Yo, Gravity, that's what I'm saying, man. I showed you the stats. How does Neighbors only got one catch, man? 2 catches. How does Wandale only have 1 catch after what they did last week? How? It's either you're not scheming them open. It's either that or Spags is just running circles around an offensive coordinator. Like, it's just I get it. Spags being Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I get it. Spags is legit, right? He's got a couple of Super Bowls underneath his belt. I believe how many does Spags have as a coordinator, right? He's got four Super Bowls because he won 2 with us. And I think he's won a couple. I think he won 2 with, so I think he's got 4 as a defensive coordinator, right? So Spags knows what he's doing. I get it. But you have 2 other options outside of Neighbors that are pretty good receivers, and Wandell and, of course, Slayton. So you got to be able to kind of scheme these guys open. If you can't do that, then I know maybe Brian Dable needs to be taking over offensive play calling. I don't know, but I'm just saying. To your point, Gravity, the O-line wasn't bad today. I thought it was decent. I don't know, man. I don't know, but you see right there. You see what he's saying. You see it. He said, "I'll be booing too." That's powerful, man. That's powerful coming from the head guy. And you got to listen to the words. He's not saying he's not saying, okay, no, Russell's our guy. He's not saying that. He's not saying that. Now maybe tomorrow he might say that. I don't know, but right now he's kind of talking about Dart and how Dart is progressing. What do you guys think? You guys think he's going to play next game? I think he's going to play, man. I think Russell's going to sit. I think they're just going to say, let's just do it. 0-3. You know, he's coaching for his job. I think they're just going to do it. He's feeling the heat, man. He's feeling the heat. He's feeling the pressure. And then also, too, guys, I don't know how Dart looks in practice, but I'm sure the teammates probably feel like Dart's the guy. I mean, meaning amongst like Neighbors and, you know, Slayton and a couple of these other guys, they probably feel like he's the guy. They like Russell Wilson. They love what he's done. They respect him. Of course, he's a good leader, blah, 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 right? All the stuff that come with that. But if you know this kid is better than Russell and I think he should be playing more, the whispers are going on. They got to be. They got to be. They all see what we see. It's just the truth, man. Tough loss today. All right, let me reset the room, man. Listen, tough loss to them boys, 22-9. The Giants are now 0-3, lose to the Kansas City Chiefs today. But big game for Cam Scatterable. 10 carries for 60 yards. Brian Burns was big on the edge. 6 tackles and 1 sack. He was getting active today. I thought he was good. I got a little scared from him when he came down. He buckled his knee, but he came back in the game after that. So it's good to see him, you know, that he's okay. But he had another great game for him, and he's playing really, really well. Gravity says, man, they better put Dart in now because you can't go down. Oh, you can't go 0-4, man. You can't go 0-4, man. Because stuff like that, when you go 0-4 like that, Gravity, man, that's when they fire the coach, man. They fire the coach and they just have they had the offensive coordinator be the interim coach. You know what I'm saying? So I would start the kid. And here's the thing, guys. Remember, Dart is who Dable wanted. Like, that's who he wanted to draft. Shedeur Sanders was up there. He didn't want to touch him. Nobody wanted to touch him, actually. But I'm just saying, there was other quarterbacks that were there. He wanted Jackson Dart. That's who he wanted. So this is his guy. This is the guy he wanted. And this is the guy he wanted to draft. Listen, I would be shocked if the kid doesn't start next week. Being down 0-3, I wouldn't be shocked if he says, all right, man, let's take the training wheels off. Get out there, man. Get out there. I just wouldn't be. Yeah, Tracy got hurt, man. It looked like he hurt his shoulder. He couldn't move his arm, man. So we got to see exactly what that looks like. You know what I mean? Is it a separated shoulder? Did he just get a stinger? You know? We want to make sure, you know, it's nothing really serious. But here's the thing, too, Gravity. With that, Cam Scatterable looked great tonight, man. He looked great. And I think, you know, Devin Singletary, motor, I think he's a good backup. So it might have been an upgrade that we got, you know, with Cam Scatterable getting more touches. I mean, I hope it's nothing serious, but I think this could be the opportunity for Cam Scatterable to really kind of, you know, make some noise here. Okay, man. Let me see what else the coach is saying here, man. It's critical right now, man. It's critical right now for the Giants. It's critical right now. All right, let's listen to Russell Wilson, man. You know, I kind of feel bad for Russell Wilson, man. I think he's kind of like in a no-win situation here. I think it's a situation where, you know, like, come on, man. You know, this is not a tough place to play, man. Especially when you know there's been a kid drafted.
Yeah, I think there's highs and lows. There's always,
you know, and I think it's tough for a guy like him, who's a great vet in this league, and there's a young kid who has very, very high upside right behind you. You know what I mean? Like I think that's tough to deal with, man. That's a lot of pressure to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that, you know, it's tough for him. And he's in a no-win situation at all. So let's hear from him, man. Let's hear from Russell Wilson. Let's hear what he has to say, man. They were booing him tonight, booing him bad, man. And, you know, and as the coach said, I will boo too. That's what the coach just said.
It's probably your head when you're hearing the crowd chant, "We want Dart," and just getting booed as he's coming off the field.
Yeah, I think there's highs and lows. There's always, you know, tough moments. There's, you know, you got to have thick skin. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to, you know who you are, know the player that you are, know what you're capable of. Obviously, you know, been able to show that throughout my career, and obviously, you know, last week and everything else too, what we're capable of as an offense. I think that, you know, they made a couple more plays than us today. Like I said, it was a 9-6 game, you know, for most of the part of the game, pretty tight. And we needed, you know, one or two big plays, and unfortunately they didn't come our way.
See, he's such a pro, man. He's such a pro because the reporter's good. She set him up real good for him to kind of give an emotional thing, but he didn't give her anything. He didn't give her nothing. This guy's a pro, man. He's a pro's pro, and he was trained well on how to answer media and deal with that. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he was once a star in this league, man. He was once one of those guys. So he knows how to deal with stuff like this, especially in the media market like this. But it's undeniable, guys. It's undeniable what's going on right now. I mean, Jackson Dart has to play, and he knows that. You know, he knows he's at the twilight of his career. He's got maybe another season left, if that. So he knows the pressure is there. He knows, you know, he's hearing boos and he's hearing people saying they want Dart. And, you know, and one thing that he said, which I thought was great, but he's a pro's pro. He said, yo, man, you got to have thick skin. You have to. And he's 1,000% correct. Because you got to have thick skin in order to kind of play this position. That's number one, but especially in this town. So he knows what it is, man. I mean, it's no sugarcoating it, right? It is what it is. And he's gonna have to have this thick skin right now because it looks like, you know, this kid is gonna want to play in. And he's gonna want to start either next week or the week after. There's no way, and I don't even care if the Giants win next week. There's no way that this kid you could keep him on the bench, especially with Dable fighting for this job. There's no way that he goes out like that. And this kid has to play. I mean, he was drafted in the first round for a reason, guys. So he's got to play, especially being down, your season being 0-3. Especially with the schedule the Giants have, and it's a tough schedule. It doesn't get any easier. So what? Okay, it is what it is. No one's complaining about the schedule. It's going to be a tough schedule. So what? Would you rather you be 0-10 and you play the kid? Like, no, man. I think that it's just his time, man. Gravity says, man, you better put in Dart now because you can't go down there. I agree, man. Agreed. Tough for Russell Wilson, man. It's tough. It's a tough one. Tough game tonight, man. Tough game. All right, but listen, guys, let me get up out of here, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me tonight, man. It's truly appreciated. Tough loss for them boys. 22-9. Giants go down 0-3. Got a game next week against the Los Angeles Chargers at MetLife. I will be coming doing a live show after that. So please come through and check it out. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. Right. Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, rocking with me and my crew, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right. So listen, man, that's my show. I'm LV Live. Tough loss to them boys, 22-9. Giants go down 0-3. Let's try to get back in the winning column next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Please come through and check that out. I will be going live after the game. All right. So, people, I'm out of here. Enjoy your night. I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.